and Western Kentucky.
Hell to bowl, Kentucky, East Kentucky.
Up in Kentucky, they make a whiskey they call a Kentucky Straight.
What's up, y'all? It's Tatum.
I'm EJ.
And you're listening to the Hustle and Holler podcast. And we're being joined by some extra special guests this week. EJ, introduce them for us.
Yeah, some good friends of mine. They're responsible for the First City Music Festival in Vincennes, Indiana. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
My name is Nash Dunn, president and co-founder of First City Music Festival.
My name is Jeff Deckard. I'm vice president, co-founder of First City Music Festival, nonprofit.
Right on, guys. Well, welcome to the show. We'll start at the beginning. When did you guys conceptualize, or when did you guys come up with the idea for First City?
Go for it.
Yeah, well, I don't know why I'd be starting this. Well, when I got engaged, Jeff had been having a get-together every fall out at his place, started in the garage, and then in the barn.
Great things to do.
That's right. Then got moved to the barn, and then maybe it just got a little too big for comfort out there. And so we were at the John Hartford Memorial Festival, I think in 2019, and just kind of started having a conversation about, well, he was saying, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it this year, whatever. Well, we didn't like that answer very much. And I was...
usually don't.
Yeah, that's right. And I was moving into a role to be president of another nonprofit in town in Vincennes called Spirit of Vincennes. They throw a reenactment event in town. And my wife and I have never been history buffs or anything like that, but when they called and asked for our help years ago, we had always had, I'm going to say, a dream of wanting to throw a festival. So we thought, well, shit, if we get engaged with this thing, we'll learn what it takes to throw a really big event. They usually have about 15,000 people show up to that thing. So we were like, well, we'll build our chops here. And so I was coming into that role, and they've got an amazing property in Vincennes. I don't know. At some point at Hartford Fest, I just looked at Jeff and said, hey, maybe we should try to talk him into doing it down in the French Commons there in town. That was it. I think before we drove off, it was one of those things where we all kind of sat around the campsite and we're like, hey, so we're really going to do this? We've been talking about it all week long now. We're really going to do it? Yeah, let's do it. That was it.
4 months.
Yeah.
4 months. We planned for our first one, 4 months.
Yeah.
And it was, it's been a work in progress ever since, but it was, we had our lineup wrong. We had it backwards. We really didn't. We were faking it till we made it.
That's what you got to do, man. It's it happens fast. The first Willie Stock, the same thing. Just we threw one party, and we were like, maybe we should do this again. And then that fall, we were like, are we really gonna do this? May's right around the corner. Next thing you know, it's May, and we're here, and it's don't feel real till it starts.
That's real.
Definitely find out who your real friends are when you go to throw a party of that caliber.
And you find out what they're made of, too.
Facts.
I think we also learned that, boy, it sure is different throwing a festival than attending one.
We talk about that all the time. Yeah. We talked about that this morning. It's I just got back from Good People, Good Times, and I was like, man, I forgot how fun this is when people aren't asking me questions all fucking weekend.
I said, Willie Stock, that's my, just get away and have a good time is Willie Stock. And it was, it's nice being able to go and not have everybody asking you questions. Definitely. But I love it. It's all worth it. It's, the community that we're building, is really, really, really special. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, so after you guys came up with this, it got traction fast. It grew quickly. So especially having the support of the city with Vincennes and being able to use that place, you guys were able to grow something that's it's getting pretty big. It's how have you handled the growth? Just trying to grow into that and book bigger bands and keep it going, because it's really hard when you're doing this. You don't ever want call it an ego thing, but you don't ever want the next one to be smaller than the last one, so it's always got to compound and it's got to grow exponentially. So how have you guys dealt with that?
Economics, we're in not the best times right now, so that was the first factor of trying to make it better each year with pretty much less money and less help almost every year. And it's really the people. We had attended John Hartford Festival since day one, and I'm a mechanical guy, I walked around and just kind of watched where they set stuff, whatever, and I became pretty good friends with Tom Burkhart and John Hotz.
I was about to say, shout out to Tom Burkhart.
Yeah, big shout out. And John Hotz, unbelievable man, R.I.P. definitely kind of just watched them move around and basically cookie cut it. And we had, I don't know, probably 250 strong of anybody that was going to go to Hartford. If anybody was going to try and reenact it within a couple hours of there, they were going to show up, you know. And that's really kind of how it happened. And then, you know, Tom's been coming since day one, and you know, he kind of, I don't know, what was it, year 2, 3, whatever, and he was like, you guys got it. Like, I mean, you know, go for it. This is the new Hartford, you know, next to what's the other one they're doing over in Missouri?
Oh yeah, that Folky Fish.
Yeah, Folky Fish Festival. They kind of took the more traditional act, and we took the more jamgrass side of it, and kind of, you know, and it's just keeping it alive, basically, man. Just keeping it alive.
I'll say it's taken a lot of, you know, Jeff's the I'll say the curator of this thing, and it's definitely more of the organizational side, running the business part of it, and it took, you know, as we were building the committee and stuff, just trying to figure out who do we know that's got these skill sets and frankly the connections to get these jobs done. Most of the people on our committee are not like a festival crew, that they're not so familiar with it. They're obviously down for sure, but it was pretty new for them. And so it was a lot of selling the dream, frankly, to get them on board, and then to keep them on board. And really, I mean, I'll say since day one, we just kept telling everybody, hey, look, man, we got to believe in the good things coming, period. Have to believe in the good things coming. If we do the good work, it's going to happen. And man, we're really blessed. Our committee, for the most part, everybody stayed with us since day one. We got a crazy, awesome group of people that work all year for this thing. And,
they are amazing.
Yeah. And really, it's at the point now, you know, where even with the growth and stuff like that, it's, you know, this being our 6th year, everybody kind of knows their jobs, knows their roles. So it's a whole lot easier, at least for us, whenever we get down there. And since everybody's been with us since day one, they've all grown with it as well, which helps a lot for sure.
That's the most important thing, I think, is like having a solid staff and having a solid crew, but like every year everyone comes back and they understand their jobs a little better. And you know, like you said, we're growing with it, and like, I don't know, people want to be a part of things like that. It's just a matter of finding the right people, because everyone wants to be a part of stuff, but the people that are actually like dedicated, and, like, you know, there's tough people to find. And, like,
it's I think it's broadened some horizons for like some of our committee. Just they just don't go to shows, and never did. And now it's like, I've got, you know, some of them. We've got Lady Barbelow, gotta love her. She's so awesome. And now, you know, she's showing up to shows with us. You know, she's coming to shows, and like she's totally opened up everything to check it out. And Miss Judith Cotter, our accountant, she's unbelievable. I mean, she come back from retirement basically, and kind of come the first year and seen what we were doing, and she was like, you guys need to get it together on the paper, you know, like she knew we were just, you know, we were a bunch of young guys throwing a party out in the field, and
guys.
Yeah. I don't want to use the word middle-aged yet. But she seen it, you know, and it was like, to get some corporate people involved. A lot of festivals don't get that, and like, I think that's it gives me and him, and he does that side too. But it gives me enough time to just run away and like build the thing, and like set up all the stuff that they don't understand, and then they get to do all the stuff that I don't have to do. You know, that I don't, you know, I'm not real good at, and it's just it's grown very, very neat the way it's happened. And I think we're blessed with our community, the way they've come in, because a lot of people I know there are festivals, they don't have that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's, you know, I haven't been to First City a couple times. It's, you know, it's definitely more organized than a lot of other festivals. You can definitely see that like that has a great effect, because it's like, it's still a great time, but like it's a little more in the pocket than a lot of the other shows we end up at, where it's just kind of like those people are still doing that. They're still just throwing it together on the fly. I mean, so are we. So like it is cool to see that in a positive light, because I think a lot of people don't like involving that because they're scared it's going to change the brand and the product. Yeah. But you guys have done a really good job of like having that and using it in the right way.
Thanks.
Yeah, we turning it into the nonprofit was probably one of the smartest moves we made too, which was, thank you, Judith Cotter. She said, you know, you guys about 3 years in, before you're done financially, you know, you're gonna have to like do something here. And then we got where he does and the community already, you know, we've gotten some really good sponsors that give us really good money. McCormick Foundation for one,
Woo!
that
Woo!
give
We
us
love that
really good
McCormick
money,
Foundation.
and we don't have to deal with that corporate thing. You know, it's a family owned organization, the McCormick Foundation, and they just know we'll throw a good party. They trust us, and it's really nice that we're not having to deal with like a Toyota per se or something like that, to where they are trying to control everything. You know.
Yeah. Early on, we kind of decided, I'm going to say, had concerns about bringing a festival into the middle of town like we are.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the first time I ever went, I was like, "This is sketchy."
Yeah, it's right in the middle of town for sure, and it's
I was
crazy.
like, I know all these people. This is
Yeah, but once you get on the property and stuff, it's all like covered with trees and stuff, so it doesn't feel like you're in town exactly. But it's definitely right in the heart of Vincennes, right by the memorial and right by downtown and whatnot. But so immediately we knew that. Strategically, we were going to have to engage the community in a different way so that they would wrap their arms around it and embrace it as well. And so that first year, man, I don't know how many public meetings and, board of work stuff, going down to City Hall. I mean, I was talking to absolutely everybody because I wanted to make sure that the mayor, the who's who in Knox County was
They
on
understood
board
the
with
hippies
it.
were coming to town.
And beyond that, like not just being okay with it, but if I get them engaged and be supportive of it, then they have ownership in it. That's exactly right. Then they have ownership in it. It's something they're proud of. And really, it's they've opened their arms up to us since day one.
It's really cool when you're in there at a place where normally you don't run into like the mayor, our fire chief, and they're in there they're like, we've found that medium to where the kids can run around safe, and it's we do big kids thing, and it's like. That was like when we all sat down and talked about it. It was like, we're not trying to be a Bonnaroo. We're not, we're not trying to be a crazy festival. So we'll make it a little more kids oriented. And that was, I think, the best move of getting our city officials engaged.
Yeah, I'll say, it is kind of a selfish endeavor, right? It's the type of events that we like to go to, and definitely, I'd say. Maybe in the beginning we were a little foolish, just thinking, "Well, hey, we like to go to these things, so let's throw our own." Yeah, not the same.
Yeah, you go to and you're like, I can do this better.
Yeah.
I've been to so many shows and thought that, and then you do it yourself. And you're like, this shit is hard.
Yeah.
Insert foot in mouth.
Right. But really, we just took all that experience and said, all right, so these are the things that are important to us whenever we go to festivals. Jeff has taken his kids to these things forever. I got a 6 and an 8-year-old that we take to all these things. We knew that. Lots of friends that we've met in the bluegrass scene and stuff like that that are rolling around with kids. So we knew that was something we really wanted to do, was pour into the family side of things and make sure that everybody felt comfortable there and whatnot. And again, our kids' activities and stuff, it's like run by the local dance teams and the cheerleaders and stuff coming out. So it's cool to get the local community engaged and get their support behind it, and really that kind of helps build out the community that Jeff was talking about, where it's not just the bluegrass scene anymore; it's growing into Knox County and Vincennes, getting everybody there engaged too. So
trying to keep the bluegrass alive in Indiana, basically. We're always fighting with Kentucky so much. Where it really came from, and we're trying to notch our little spot out down there.
Yeah,
down
don't
south,
forget that Hoosier State's got Bill Monroe music.
That's right.
That ain't in Kentucky now. So.
So we've been talking about the festival and everything, but we haven't mentioned dates. We haven't mentioned anything about the lineup or what you guys have got going on this year. So dive into that. When is the festival happening? What's your lineup look like?
It is September 25th, 6th, and 7th this year. We do have a little pre-party the 24th if you want to come in. And I hate that I have to grab this and read from it, but this is our lineup. This year we've got, I don't know, I've booked a few bands doing this now, but getting Mr. Peter Rowan's name on a contract that was a huge milestone with me. And then coming in with Sam Grissman Project, it was like doing Old and the Way. That's kind of like some of the stuff I started on.
Right.
Now that we're getting ready to produce it on our stage is just it's really it was mind boggling to me that where we're at, and we've got once again our boys Armchair Boogie 2 nights. They're unbelievable. I think we had a listening party in our shop and found them on Spotify. Thought they were a bunch of old men. And then they showed up. We booked them, and they showed up. It's like our second year, and booked them. They showed up, and it's just like kids. They're just young, you know, and we've held on to them ever since. It's pretty neat to watch them grow. And we've got Grandpa's Cough Medicine, which is really cool because they don't normally come out of Florida too often. So we've got them coming all the way up here, and I've heard a lot of good reviews about them, and I've been watching them for years. You know, they're just unbelievable band. Henhouse Prowlers always, that's a staple for us.
Always. They've been there since day one.
Yeah. And then
Chris
another,
Dallas, a boy.
like Mr. Peter Roan, we got another Grammy winner artist. Mr. Kyle Tuttle is going to be our artist at large this year. So,
Yeah, can we just say that again?
Yeah.
I'm like freaking out this year. We have
Yeah.
2 Grammy Award winning artists coming, which, I mean, I really like. We just kind of dork out on this stuff, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah,
We're
I
like
mean-
little kids pumped about it.
Yeah.
For sure.
and he's going to be, I mean, you know, all I can say is get the PBR ready for him, and he will be on multiple stages, probably on the grass. I mean, Kyle's a wild man. I've been watching him for, 15, 20 years, you know, so we got Mr. Chicago Farmer. Once again, Midwest staple. Been trying to get them on the stage for a few years. We finally got them in the field notes, which is awesome. Chain Station, always it's band out of Colorado. They were, I think most of them a lot of them are from Illinois though, right?
Yeah, Mount Vernon.
Yeah,
area,
yeah,
man.
they played for us last year. Great guys. Front Porch out of Arkansas. I know you're a fan. Yeah,
Our boy Alex Hoff, he's from down around the Knox County area. A little
Yes.
bit.
Yep. And then we got the Hammer and the Hatchet. Always John and Jamie's been a staple for us. Jamie's been like kind of my go-to if I've ever like hit a rock somewhere with this whole festival thing. She's always walked me through some damn good advice.
First time I ever saw Hammer and the Hatchet, they were standing in the gravel out in front of Jeff's
Yep.
garage.
Yep.
Before the barn, before any of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
They
They've
were
been-
one of the ones
They've
that
been playing on our
got
farm for a solid 12, 13 years. They've been playing on our farm with the house parties we have. And then we got these guys are debutantes. They're up and comers. They're out of Fort Wayne. They're it's awesome. It's unbelievable.
experience.
It is an experience. And then our staples of who really started this, the New Old Calvary, local Bloomington band.
At it for years.
Yeah, at it for years, then took a little hiatus because Mr. Chris Dollar's now the guitar player for Prowlers, but they love us enough to come back, and we make it work. It's an actual chore trying to put all that together to get both the bands there and make it work, but they do it for us. And then we got Wonder Funk, which is a offshoot of Armchair Boogie. Mr. Ben Majeska, he's got a 3-piece. It's a really cool late night set. Got the Fun Duns. Whoop,
Oh,
whoop.
yeah. Whoop,
Fun
whoop.
Dun.
Whoop, whoop.
Mr. Nash and his wife Debbie. Got 65 North Pickers. They're down Lexington area somewhere. Hot young pickers, man.
Dude,
These
those
guys
guys like to burn the festival grounds down that year.
Yes.
Because I'm on the second stage, and it was one of those scenarios, they're under the tent, and, people kind of come and go from the second stage. You're not
And it
sure
was
if you're going to say.
pouring rain.
And it was pouring down rain.
Yeah, we did get 6 inches of rain.
They got to going, man, and it was like you could just sit back and watch everybody on the festival grounds. Like, what is happening?
they're-
Everybody it was nuts.
They're definitely up and coming. There's someone that we're gonna have them next year, hopefully for Willie Stock. But it's just cool to see people that age
And
like that. Like
Yep.
and working with them has been, done this a while. Worked with several bands. Working with them is a pleasure.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great young men to work with. Great young men to
I've
work
said it
with.
on here before, but like it's so important to have dudes that age, like
Yes.
doing this,
Keeping it going.
because then if there's not people that age getting into it, it'll just
Yep.
Exactly.
die less,
Yeah, we got the Lowlanders out of Bloomington. Just really good grass band out of Bloomington, Indiana. We got Mr. Cody Hecken Williams, which he's a town local. Yeah,
Definitely got to give it up for Mr. Cody Hecken Williams.
Yeah.
I'll say this: any band that's ever played at First City Music Festival knows Cody because he's the kind of guy that, since day one, he just shows up. Yes, he's playing and stuff, but he's working the entire time, and he
Yeah.
literally makes these care kits that he sets back behind the stage. He brings extra guitars to leave for any artist who might need it if they have any issues. He's got this like tackle box thing.
Yep.
It's got all these strings in it and stuff, and it's literally just free to anybody who might need it. He is back there helping
Yep.
facilitate the vibe.
he
Hardcore. Love Cody Hecken Williams.
puts in the hours.
Yeah.
Definitely puts in the hours. Then we got another transplant local. I don't know how you explain Mr. Tim Pike. Tim, he is I guess what you call a studio musician. He was Paul Allen's handler in the Paul Allen band back in the day, and he transplanted to Vincennes. It's been around COVID, I think. And he come out one year and was just like, "What are you guys doing out here? Looks like you're putting on music." And he just became one of our besties. He now, we're doing it. Don't miss him on second stage. He's a guy that you see him sitting up there, and then he starts playing. You're like, oh my.
He'll be the
goodness.
soul set of the weekend for sure. He brings the
blues
hard.
brings out blues hard. And then we got Miss Jess and the Hired Hands out of would be Alany, wouldn't it? Alany, Illinois. They're Jess is. They're so fun. They're fun. She comes in and she gives it all, and they're been with us about the last 3 years, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we got Avocado Chic, which is a Mr. Dan Bent project. Dan was our sound guy the first 3 years.
More than that.
Yeah,
Dan
and
was
helped us
uncle
like
in
he
the
was
beginning.
a guy that like Jamie Hood, Hammer and the Hatchet. Like if I was stumped on something, I could call and we'd figure it out. Even if he didn't have an answer, we'd figure it out.
I can't tell you how many times we had unofficial meetings in Dan's minivan with all his PA stuff in the back, and he'd get us in there. All right, boys, this is what we got to talk about. And he was just helping coach us through the thought process.
He was definitely dad. He was definitely dad on the whole building of First City. Dan was a staple. Still is a staple. Then we got the Booze Hounds, who I know everybody knows this year because they are playing every freaking event known to man in the state of Indiana. They are just a three-piece. Now, I don't know if we're getting Lucas Williams or not. I think we are.
Oh, let me say this. Lucas Williams better be crawling around on that ground,
Yes,
even if he's
and
not.
so they're a
playing with Booze
four-piece,
Hounds.
but I mean, you want to just talk about just some genuine good pickers. Unbelievable. And then we got Father Kentucky.
Oh, man.
I don't know. He plays everything, and he just does it so well. He's on our second stage. Then we got Mr. Little Nolan. Watch, can't call him Little no more.
Yeah,
Can't call him Nolan Strupreck. Been watching him grow up from Hartford from year one. Literally, he's played with every great known to man on the Bill Monroe stage. And then we got Luke and Maria. They're a local act right out of Vincennes. We try to keep we try to put a local act from town every year to spotlight. That's kind of one of the things for second stage. So, and that pretty much rounds it off.
Well, it's a sick lineup. Going from that, doing this over the years and looking into the future, is there a chase of a band or an artist that you want to book?
I mean,
A lot of good bands out there.
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, we have Peter Rowan coming this year. We booked Salmon last year. I was like, it's hard to explain something when you're getting to do something that you want to, you're like, you're already doing something that's just probably, 7 years ago wasn't even a thought in my head, and we're doing it. So, I mean, not really. I feel accomplished, really.
Right.
I feel very, very accomplished.
Couldn't be more pumped about every artist we've had. That's for sure. Definitely just get dorky excited about it. And honestly, every year again, I think I said, it's kind of a fairly selfish endeavor. It's literally just who we listening to this year. We're just sitting Jeff said, hey, this band. Let's press this band. Let's look at these guys.
The listening parties are legendary.
Yeah, that's what me and Landon do. We really just sit down and start arguing, honestly. About who we like more, who we'd rather have, and it's like it's for fun. Obviously, we're not really, but that's really what it is. It's like people would be surprised how little work goes into the work goes into booking people, but when you're coming up the lineup, it's just like, well, who do you?
That's the most fun.
Yeah, those
are the conversations that we're having, anyways.
Yeah.
Who we listen to? Who we like?
The fact that we just fruition all that all together, talking about it, and now we're actually doing it. And I mean, like I said, I've got our committee who never even listen to this kind of music, and I'll get a text, and and they're like, hey, check this out, and been listening to the band for a while, but it's like, you guys are, you're really getting into this. You guys are really getting into this. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Going from there, I was scrolling through your all's Facebook page, and I saw that you guys do theme days.
Yeah, I think we just announced that yesterday.
Yeah.
Miss Angeway, shout out.
This will be the first year for that. Yeah, Ange and some of the girls of the committee were coming up with that. Ange's been asking for that since last year, I think. Like with a lot of stuff with the festival, Jeff and I were just talking about this on your shop, actually. Whenever they were asking about it, again, we're just blessed to have a bunch of volunteers that are actually thinking about this thing and wanting to work hard for it for nothing all year long. I say that just for the satisfaction of doing it. And so whenever they were coming up with the idea, Jeff and I both said the same thing to them, which is, that's fine if that's what you want to do. Just don't ask us about it. Just make decisions and tell people how to dress up, and we'll be there. Yeah. So what I think Thursday's tie-dye day.
That's what I'm sitting here trying to
and
look
I'll
up
say,
right now.
you know, whenever they threw that one out there, part of me was like, well, that's a gimme, man. I mean, I'll say First City is just covered in tie-dye every year. But Friday is a Cosmic Cowboy, so we'll be pulling out our inner Daniel Donato on that one, I think. And then Saturday's Party Animals. That one should be interesting. I'm not sure if we'll see more animal prints or furries walking around or what it'll be.
Hey,
like.
I'm looking for a tie-dye cowboy hat. Anybody's
yeah.
got one, hit me up. I can multitask for Friday and Saturday.
Well, I love it because earlier you guys were talking about the community, and I think that's a really cool idea to kind of, bring community together. And while I was scrolling through your Facebook too, I mean, your guys' kids' activities is absolutely amazing. The stuff you guys
Katie
put
Taylor.
together.
Shout out to Katie Taylor on our team.
It's literally, I mean, I've been to every show from coast to coast, north, south, east, west. I've been to all of them, all the jam grass, all the bluegrass, traditional, non-traditional. I mean, our kids thing it rivals anything I've ever seen. It really does. I hate to say it like that, but it's like it was a staple to make sure that the kids had something to do, and then it just kind of grew and grew. And once again, our community, we're able to do that because we get so many donations and so many volunteers from we have the Civitan people come in. We have local high school cheerleaders that come in and do it. I mean, it's just the volunteer base is, well, it's kind of unmatched of anything out there because we got our community involved, and it's really neat. It's really neat.
And for you guys, when you had first started this, did you expect that to happen? Did you see that the community was going to become so involved?
He seen it more than I did. He's seen it. Because he's a community guy. I was always kind of the outcast, and now I'm full bore giving scholarships away, which we haven't even talked about the scholarship. But he's seen it more than I did. I was more of the we sure we want to show him how we get down in the field type thing, and like I said, just with me being able to build it and them being able to keep the leash on me, and we found that medium to where it just all works. It's a beautiful thing, really.
Hey, since day one, our I don't know if you want to call it our slogan or whatever, but what we say as a team all the time is dream big, act locally, and believe in the good things coming. And we try to remember all three of those all year long as we're going. I was just at the high school, our local high school, earlier this week, and it was crazy to me. I mean, I run a large disability service nonprofit in town, and they got a hold of me and said, hey, we're interested in you coming out and doing this. They're having a college day and scholarship fair and whatnot. Would you want to come tell people about your scholarships? And I thought they were asking about my employer, KCRC, the company I get paid to run. And so I said, oh yeah, hey, what would you guys think about First City coming? And their response, the school's response was literally, oh no, we were asking about First City. KCRC can come too if you want, but we want First City there. And it was nuts, man. I mean, I'll say our booth was definitely the most fun booth there. I got the tunes going, I got tie-dye rolling, and that it's a little different than say Purdue's booth or whatever, or the military booth that's over there talking to kids. But yeah, I mean, getting to talk to those kids about, they're asking about how to get engaged with it. They want to come volunteer for us, so they'll be out there helping with kids' activities and stuff. And again, getting to get out there, and none of us are getting paid for this thing, right? And so whatever dollars we get at the end of the day, which isn't a whole lot, but giving away the scholarship, man. I really enjoy, and really the whole team obviously really enjoys pouring into the youth. And I think that bluegrass music, really kind of lends itself to that naturally. Folk music just being steeped in that tradition and sharing the stories, sharing the melodies, and passing it down from generation to generation. And so it was just kind of a natural growth from that. The music kind of sets the stage for that just in itself. It's such a, it's so deeply rooted in our culture in America.
Right.
Yeah. So pouring into the kids in other ways just seemed to make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And talk to me a little bit about that. You guys have mentioned a scholarship. What's the depths of that? What does that include? And when did that come about?
So I think we started that. We had the idea for it year one, but of course we didn't have any money or anything.
Right.
That was one of our goals, and what we kept telling people was, hey, we're going to be raising money for a scholarship. So we started that year two, and we had a friend of ours. His name was Evan Twitty. He was a local local kiddo in Knox County area. He was a nationally renowned finger picker. He was
flat picker, junior champion.
Oh yeah,
junior champion.
Yeah, award winning. That kid was going to do something, and of course he played at the event year one. And we kind of got to know him and his family, and unfortunately he passed at like age 18 or 19. He got in a car accident, and so we named the scholarship after him just immediately. Wanted to try to keep his legacy going.
Thank you to the Twitty family for letting us do that.
Miss Jamie's as sweet as they can.
Yeah. She comes every year and sets up and does her thing, and we just keep it alive. We keep it alive. We have his band play. We have him open it up for us every year. Wooden Wire. I guess I did not mention Wooden Wire, but we also have Wooden Wire actually opening the show up this year.
Yeah, and to be clear, that's local Wooden Wire, not from Austin, Texas, the Grammy Award.
Well said.
Wooden Wire, but
yeah, because we have been talked to about that a couple times about not putting local act on there. Wooden Wire has actually contacted us and said, "Hey, we're not playing your festival. Can you get us down?" And so we fixed it now. But
so our scholarship's open to any Knox County kiddo. You just got to be a Knox County resident. Got to be going to college. We don't care if it's online, if it's anything like that. And they got to be engaged in music or arts. We don't have any GPA requirements or anything like that.
Okay.
I think one of the things that they have to write in their essay is what their plans are to change the world for the better. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for.
Right.
We want to try to support people who are bringing color to their community and stuff, trying to better the world. So yeah, it's been great. I think our winner this past year was Mr. Reed Martin, a South Knox graduate who's going up to Ball State up in Muncie, and he's in the band up there and stuff like that. And really, just couldn't be more excited. I know Owensboro is obviously a little bigger than Vincennes, but growing up in a small community, you guys know, especially being in say the music and art scene or whatever. A lot of times you can kind of feel like there's not a whole lot of outlets for youth and stuff like that.
It feels hopeless.
We grew up where we're throwing the festival, and that was part of the reason why we wanted to bring it to Vincennes. We talked about doing it up in Bean Blossom. We talked about a lot of different places, but at the end of the day, it was, hey, we grew up in this town and remember what that was like, and why don't we want to try to make this the kind of place that our kids want to live in and that they want to raise their kids in, and and it supports this type of scene and the local musicians and stuff here. So that's definitely been a huge driver for it since day one, is making sure that the kids in our community, specifically those musicians and artists and stuff, feel like they have some sort of outlet or can at least see a couple of old guys who are able to do some fun things like that. And, hopefully we light a fire with them as well. And we've seen, there's been so many other events starting in Vincennes since we got going that we've kind of uncled along that act as like subcommittees that are a nonprofit. And they're out there doing the rock and roll thing and stuff, which is great. And there's been a couple of one-day events happened since we get started, so it's been nice to get that fire started,
right?
And keep trying to fan those flames.
Yeah, we actually have a couple of them had moved from where they was doing it at Patrick Henry Square and have now moved onto our grounds. The Latino Festival, which they some issues this year, it didn't happen, but we just had the Pride Fest there a couple months ago, and they we had to do a lot of work on our grounds to kind of clean it up a little bit. And now that we've got it clean and everybody's like, well, can we do a show out there? And it's really neat that we've got more people coming to do it out there. So, it's the ball's rolling, it takes up doing it once a year. It's a long process, but the ball is rolling in our community to bring back the music a little more prominent.
And probably worth mentioning outside of the scholarship, even, is that's, it's not like it's a full ride or anything like that.
Right.
For these kids, that's for sure. Said. But outside of the scholarship, we have, I can easily think of about $50,000 worth of improvements that we've done to this property.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Our nonprofit isn't even in charge of the grounds. We technically lease it off of another nonprofit. It had always just been, frankly, underutilized. They had this one really large event. The grounds are just gorgeous, and they're very strategically placed for our community. And so we just kept thinking, hey, we need to pour into this property so that other people will come and do cool stuff for our team.
Right.
And that's been happening.
It's working. It's definitely working. Like I said, in the first couple years, Nash and his dad are like, they're pulling the reins on me because I move quick. I want to see stuff done now. And, they're like, you gotta, and Shepard, especially Nash's dad, he's just like, hey, this is a slow game. This is a slow game. And now I've stepped back 5-6 years later and I'm like, oh man, we've got the new stage,
Yeah.
we've got all the electricity, we've got the new water lines. We're working on another electric plan. We've got some shower houses coming. Like,
Hey, the
I mean-
community just had us this year take part in a planning committee, and so now the property that we do those grounds on, it's a part of the long-term growth strategy for our community.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
literally,
sick.
like
Yep.
even as say we get new mayors and stuff like that, the written town for the plan includes plans that we have for that property. So our local community is just planning on continuing to pour into it. So obviously, I mean, I feel like they're seeing the fruits of our labor and are enjoying it and whatnot. And seriously, I can't say enough about the amount of support that we get from them. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable for me being growing up a little bit. I guess I'd say it's the kind of black sheep of the community for a while. It's really cool to put back in and then actually see it give back. Like, because I was always like, but it's coming back. I mean, the community's just grabbed hold. It's really, really neat. Yeah.
That's awesome, guys. I mean, it is, and it's an inspiration too, especially for what we got going on, because we're always trying to be bigger, build it better, keep going, and watching people like you guys do it lets us know it's possible. And then say that.
Thanks, man. That's humbling.
Appreciate
to hear.
that.
That's
Yeah, I
humbling
appreciate
to hear.
that. Because Willie Stock is definitely doing leaps and bounds. Just so you know.
Yeah,
Let me go ahead and tell you.
Always like I said earlier, it's like you go to these shows and you always think I could do it better, and it's like it is a little like arrogant to think that, but that's always the goal. Like, every time I go to another show, I'm like, how can I do this better than they did?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you don't think like that, we're not ever going to get anything done. We'll
That's
just have
real.
a really stagnant product forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but is there anything else you guys want to say before we wrap up here and you drop the dates again? And
I feel like
hey,
we've covered.
September 25th, 26th, 27th in sunny Vincennes, down on the French Commons, downtown historic Vincennes, Indiana. Y'all come party with us at First City Music Festival. You get tickets, firstcitymusicfestival.com, or check us out on whatever social media you're on. That's for real. Holler at us. Please, if you get a weekend pass, feel free to come on Wednesday. Come get down with us. I think Hammer and Hatchet are going to be
Doing an
giving
album
us a
release
little
party. We have
surprise.
we have not announced that yet. I don't know when this will go out.
I think
So
it's gotta be official,
you guys may be the
unofficial.
first announcement. You guys may
Yeah.
be the first announcement. Yeah, but they're going to do an album release party. Like I said, nobody knows that yet. But shout out to local folk entertainment.
Folk around.
Folk Around
Folk
Entertainment.
Around.
Sorry, got bands and production mixed up. Folk Around Entertainment out of Sacramento. Miss Josh and Allie, they have putting it all together on main stage, and then we got a Wicked Ways Entertainment that does second stage. Once again, family. My personal cousin, he comes in and just basically like Cody Williams, I got what you need type thing. So, but yeah, man, I think
definitely want to thank you guys for having us.
Yes.
today. I really
Appreciate
you
it.
guys reaching out and giving us the opportunity and the platform to talk about what we're doing.
right on, bro. It's another episode of Hustle and Holler.
I'm Tatum,
You guys know my name.
and we'll catch you next week.
see you guys.